Hello everyone, am I audible and visible? Good afternoon. Hello friends, good afternoon. Am I audible and visible? Somebody please ping me so that I can begin with today's important session on the key concepts associated with Jainism. Hello everyone. Hi, this is Alokojha. Welcome to StudyIQIASenglish. In today's session, we are going to throw light on specifically the important concepts related to Jainism. In the previous sessions, we have studied about the different aspects, such as we have seen about the Indus Valley civilization, then we have seen Vedic civilization, the modern administration, followed by Ashoka's rock edicts. Apart from this, we have also thrown light on the important aspects of Buddhism. And specifically, Buddhist councils are remaining, and we'll be discussing about the Buddhist council in today's session. Okay. So it's a request to all of you, please have a pen and paper along with you so that you guys can note down the important points. Is that clear? Yes, Renu. Good afternoon. So friends, we are going to focus specifically on the important points. I have already covered ancient Indian history in quite depth and detail as a part of the playlist. Apart from this, I have also covered marathon session on ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, and part 1 of modern Indian history. As a part of 50 important topics, I'm just focusing on those topics which are very important from the exam perspective. Is that clear? Yes, Shashmita. Good afternoon. Thank you. So, previously, we have seen about the different aspects of Buddhism, such as we have seen about the different terminology, such as what is Mahabhinishkraman, what is Nirvan, Mahaparinirvan, Sakya Muni, Tathagat, Bhumi Sparsh Mudra, Dharma Chakra Mudra, Anjali Mudra, and so on. Apart from this, what is the concept of stupa architecture? What is the concept of Chaitya and Vihar? We have also thrown light on different aspects of different stupas across India. Okay. Now, we will throw light presently on the other aspects such as important Buddhist councils. Okay. So this section is also very important because usually time and again UPSC has a tendency to ask a question specifically. I'll give you a small example. The division of Buddhism into Hinayan and Mahayana. It was visible in which Buddhist council? So it was visible in the 4th Buddhist council. Okay. Apart from this, there are other different aspects which are very important from the exam perspective. So let's focus on those aspects. So without wasting any more time, it's a request to all of you, please have a pen and paper along with you so that you guys can note down the additional points. Is that clear? Now, First Buddhist Council. First Buddhist Council was held in 4th century BC and it was patronized by Haryanka dynasty ruler Ajatashatru. Okay. Like you might have studied in the different Mahajanpads, there was a Mahajanpad referred as Magad Mahajanpad. And Magad Mahajanpad, there were 3 important dynasties that were ruling. The first one was Haryanka dynasty, followed by Shishunak dynasty. Finally comes Nanda dynasty. And the founder of Haryanka dynasty was Bimbisar. Now, many historians do believe that Bimbisar was being killed by his own son Ajatashatru. Okay? And Ajatashatru's original name was Kunik. Apart from this, it is believed that about Ajatashatru, he had invented 2 important weapons. One was Rath Musal. Please keep on noting down along with me. One was Rath Musal and the second one was Mahashil Kantak. I repeat, Rath Musal and Mahashil Kantak. You might have seen the movie Bahubali. In the movie Bahubali, you might have observed one thing, that is the chariot of Bhallal Dev, correct? Which has a spoke in front of it and the chariot is moving forward, cutting down the enemies, correct? That is nothing but what? Rath Musal. And what is Mahashil Kantak? Mahashil Kantak was the catapult of Bahubali that pelted huge stones on the enemies. Is that clear? So these were the inventions of Ajatashatru. So Ajatashatru was the first person who had patronized the first Buddhist council and it was presided by Mahakashyap. So what was the outcome of the first Buddhist council? Just remember one important aspect. There was no compilation of Tripitaka till now. Okay? Now there are three basket of books: Vinay Pitak, Sutta Pitak and Abhidhamma Pitak. Vinay Pitak, it's a book on discipline. Okay, book on discipline of monks and nuns. Like if a person he wants to join the Buddhist Sangh, if a monk he wants to join the Buddhist Sangh, what rules and regulation that he needs to follow. So as a part of Vinay Pitak, 227 rules are mentioned for monks and 311 rules are mentioned for nuns. So Vinay Pitak, it's a book on discipline. Then comes Sutta Pitak. Sutta Pitak are the different sermons of Buddha. Okay, like I'll give you a small example. Digha Nikhaya, that is long sermons. Majjhim Nikhaya, medium length, what we say sermons. Angutara Nikhaya and so on. And then finally comes Abhidhamma Pitak. Abhidhamma Pitak, precisely speaking, it specifies about the various Buddhist doctrines. Correct? So in first Buddhist council, it is said that Vinay Pitak and Sutta Pitak, or the disputes between both of them, were being resolved. And Abhidhamma Pitak was discussed. Okay? So Sutta Pitak was recited by Anand and Vinay Pitak was recited by Upali. Is that clear? So this was nothing but the outcome of the first Buddhist council. Yes, good evening, Jivisha. No issues. Moving ahead. Second Buddhist council. Second Buddhist council was held in 4th century BC, around 383 BC, and it was patronized by Kal Ashok. Kal Ashok was a ruler of Shishunag dynasty. I'll give you a very simple example. The last ruler of Haryanka dynasty was Nagdarshak. And Nagdarshak was being killed by his own military commander whose name was Shishunag, who laid the foundation of Shishunag dynasty. Okay? And Shishunag was succeeded by his own son whose name was Kal Ashok or Kaka Varna. And during his tenure, second Buddhist council took place at a place called as Vaishali. So first Buddhist council was held in Satapani caves, Rajgriha. Second Buddhist council was held in Vaishali. Okay? Now, in second Buddhist council, there was Shiism in Buddhism. Simple words, Buddhism was divided into two parts, orthodox and unorthodox. So Theravada or Sthaviravada were the orthodox followers of Buddhism. On the other hand, Mahasanghika were the unorthodox or liberal followers of Buddhism. Now the very basic question arises, if a question is asked in the examination, the process for Shiism in Buddhism began in which Buddhist council? So here the answer is not fourth Buddhist council, answer is second Buddhist council. In fact, in the fourth Buddhist council, you can observe that Buddhism was divided into two important parts. Okay? So the initiation of the process, it began during the second Buddhist council. So I repeat the points again. Second Buddhist council was held at Vaishali. It was patronized by Shishunag dynasty ruler Kal Ashok, who is also referred as Kakavarna. Is that clear? Apart from this, in second Buddhist council, it is said that it was held at Vaishali. Okay, and there was division of Buddhism into two parts, Sthaviravada, that is orthodox, and Mahasanghika, that is liberal. Then comes third Buddhist council, the important one. Third Buddhist council was held in 3rd century BC, precisely around 250 BC, and it was patronized by Mauryan dynasty ruler Ashok. As we had seen previously, Chandragupta Maurya, who is also referred as Sandrokotas or Androkotas in Greek and Latin literature, during the end of his reign became the follower of Jainism. Chandragupta Maurya was succeeded by his son whose name was Bindusar, and Bindusar is oftenly referred as Simhasen or Antriochates in Greek and Latin literature. Okay, and during the end of his reign, he became the follower of Ajivika sect. On the other hand, Ashoka, he became the follower of Buddhism. And Ashoka had patronized the third Buddhist council, which took place at a place called as Patliputra, modern day Patna. Is that clear? Now, the compilation of three Pitakas took place in the third Buddhist council. Now, what is three Pitakas? Three basket of books. Three means three. Pitakas means basket. So these were nothing but three basket of books. Okay, that is Vinay Pitak, Sutta Pitak and Abhidhamma Pitak. So please do not get confused. In the first Buddhist council, the disputes between Vinay Pitak and Sutta Pitak were resolved. And in the third Buddhist council, you can observe the compilation of three Pitakas. Hope so the point is clear, my friends. Okay, now comes the fourth Buddhist council. Fourth Buddhist Council, it was patronized by Kushan dynasty ruler Kanishk, and this council was held in Kashmir. One of the most important aspects that you need to remember about the Fourth Buddhist Council is this is the only council to be held in Sanskrit language, and the previous three councils were held in Pali language. Is that clear? So I'll repeat the point again. This is the only council to be held in Sanskrit language. The previous three councils were held in Pali language. Okay. Apart from this, in the Fourth Buddhist Council, you can observe the division of Buddhism into two parts, Heenyan and Mahayana. And in the previous session, we have seen precisely who were the followers of Heenyan sect, who are the followers of Mahayana sect, what is the major difference between both of them. Okay. One more important aspect. At the same time, there was a council held at a place called as Tambapani Caves in Sri Lanka. And it was patronized by a local chieftain whose name was Vatagami Abhay. But this council was not given the status of a council because there's one reason. This council was patronized by a local chieftain, not by any major ruler. Okay. So Fourth Buddhist Council, it was patronized by Kushan dynasty ruler Kanishk. It is the only council to be held in Sanskrit language. And the most important one, this council saw the division of Buddhism into two parts, that is Heenyan and Mahayana. Okay. So this is nothing but the four important Buddhist councils. Yes, very good. Renu. Moving ahead. What is the difference between Gandhar School of Art, Mathura School of Art, and Amravati School of Art? Okay. See, UPSC usually has a tendency to ask a question from the perspective of art and culture. Okay. Now, the very basic question they ask from the perspective of art and culture is about the depiction of Buddha. I'll give you a very simple example. The hair of Buddha are curly. Okay. His earlobes are elongated. The drapery on his body, it has folds over it. These are the features of which school of art. So these are the features of Gandhar School of Art. So let's understand about this. Gandhar School of Art is not an indigenous art. Okay. Apart from this, Gandhar School of Art was being patronized by Kushan dynasty ruler Kanishk. First important thing. Second important thing, like specifically bluish grey sandstone was the most dominant material as a part of Gandhar School of Art. If we see about the depiction of Buddha in Gandhar School of Art, you will observe one thing. Okay. Buddha is majorly in meditative posture. First thing. There is a bit of protuberance on the forehead of Buddha. Apart from this, the clothes which Buddha is wearing, he has a fold over the clothes. Okay. The hairs of Buddha are curly. I'll give you a very simple example about this. The different stories or different legendary stories associated with Buddhism narrates a very different aspect. Why the hairs of Buddha are curly. Like when Buddha was meditating under a peepal tree on the banks of Niranjana or Falgu river, okay, the sunlight was directly falling on the head of Buddha. So there were few snails, approximately 108 snails that came up to cover the head of Buddha. Hence, Buddha's hair are depicted as curly hairs. Okay. Apart from this, the body of Buddha is not that muscular. Is that clear? The earlobes of Buddha are elongated. This simply exemplifies that he comes from a noble origin. So these were the features of specifically Gandhar School of Art. And one of the finest example was Bamiyan Caves, Afghanistan, which has been, like Bamiyan Caves is not in existence right now. Then comes Mathura School of Art. It is an indigenous art. Again, it was patronized by Kushan dynasty ruler Kanishk. And red sandstone is the most dominant material of Mathura School of Art. Is that clear? Now, what are the features of Mathura School of Art? As I have told you previously, in Gandhar School of Art, you can observe one thing. Either Buddha is in Dhyana Mudra, okay, or either he is in preaching Mudra. But in Mathura School of Art, you can observe one thing. Either Buddha is listening to something or he is speaking with someone. Okay. Apart from this, the body of Buddha is muscular. The head is bald. Okay. In Mathura School of Art. Is that clear? Apart from this, you can observe one more thing. There are two Chanwars by the side of Buddha. So these are the features of Mathura school of art. On the other hand, Amravati school of art, it was being patronized by Satvahan dynasty rulers. First thing, the most dominant material in Amravati school of art was white marble. I repeat, the most dominant material in Amravati school of art is white marble. And here, there is no major depiction on body features of Buddha. Is that clear? In fact, there is more depiction of what? The stories associated with the life of Buddha. Like for example, lotus, what does that depict? The birth of Buddha. Horse, what does that depict? Horse specifically depicts the process of Mahabhinishkraman, that is renunciation. Is that clear? What does the people tree depict? People tree specifically depicts the nirvana or the process of enlightenment. Is that clear? So this is nothing but the depiction of Buddha in Gandhar school of art, Mathura school of art and Amravati school of art. Hope so the points related to Buddhism is clear, my friends. Yes, please answer in the comment section. Any question, any doubt, any kind of a query, please feel free to ask. Is everything clear? Okay, very good. Can we go for a short question and answer round? Let me ask you a few questions. Buddha had delivered his maximum sermons at which place? Please answer in the comment section. Yes, very good, Jivisha. Buddha had delivered his maximum sermons at which place? Fast. A quick question and answer round. Very good, Shashmita. Very good, Renu. Buddha had delivered his maximum sermons at Shravasti, which was the capital of Kosla Mahajanpad. I'll be asking you just 5 questions. Okay. Then, previously related to Buddhism, another question. What is the meaning of the word Tathagat? In the past session itself, I've spoken about this, that usually UPSC has a tendency to ask questions on terminologies. And terminologies are very, very important from the exam perspective. So what is the meaning of the word Tathagat? Yes? We have discussed about this. Tathagat is nothing but pathfinder of truth. Okay? Next question. The concept of Toran into stupa architecture was added by whom? I repeat, the concept of Toran in stupa architecture was added by whom? As discussed previously, there is no concept of Toran in the original stupa architecture. The concept of Toran was added later on. By whom? Yes? Take a guess. My friends, I'll suggest you one thing. Before going for the prelims examination, I'll tell you one thing. Many of the students message me on Telegram and ask a simple question, sir, which books, how many books do I need to prefer for ancient Indian history? Okay. And I have come across many students who have asked me, sir, is it okay that I refer Poonam Dalal Dahiya, I go for the NCRTs, I go for Tamil Nadu State Board book. Okay, I'll read one more book for ancient, then I'll go for medieval India as well, and then I'll go for modern India as well. I'll tell you one thing, think logically, think pragmatically. Is it possible for you to revise 7 to 8 books just for history before the prelims examination? Correct? It's not just about history. You have geography, polity, environment, economy, current affairs. So if you have multiple sources, revision becomes tedious. Correct? So my one suggestion to every one of you is concise the resources and go for multiple revisions. It is better to read one book 10 times rather than reading 10 books. Please follow that strategy in your UPSC prelims examination. Okay. So, the concept of Toran was added to stupa architecture by Satvahan dynasty rulers. Is that clear? Another question I'll ask you. Okay. Specifically, we have discussed about Ajanta, Ellora caves. Ajanta and Ellora caves. We have discussed about the Bagh caves. We have discussed about the Karle caves. The largest Chaitya Griha is found in which among the following caves? Ajanta, Ellora, Karle, or Kanheri caves? Please answer. Yes, Jivisha, I'm asking the questions, but I guess nobody is participating in the round. In fact, even I'm trying to check out that how many of you are, like, specifically you have revised the concept. Is that clear? The key is revision every year. The friends, key is revision. That's it. Largest Chaitya is found at Karli Caves. Very good, Shri. Perfect answer. Okay. Now let's talk about Jainism in short. The word Jainism has been derived from the word Jina. And the word Jina basically means conqueror. Conqueror of what? Conqueror of senses. The doctrines of Jainism were preached by different acharyas. And these acharyas are referred as Tirthankars. Okay. As per Jainism, totally there are 24 Tirthankars. I repeat, as per Jainism, there are totally 24 Tirthankar. And every Tirthankar has to undergo through 5 important processes. First one is Garbha Kalyanak, where the soul or the Atman of the Tirthankar enters into mother's womb. Then comes Janma Kalyanak, and Janma Kalyanak basically means what? Birth of that particular Tirthankar. Then comes Diksha Kalyanak, very simple words. After living his worldly life or after fulfilling his worldly responsibilities, the Tirthankar renounces everything. Okay? And that is called as Diksha Kalyanak, the process of renunciation. After renouncing everything, the Tirthankar attains enlightenment, which is called as Jnana Kalyanak. This is also referred as Kaivalya. Okay? Terminologies are again important. And finally comes Nirvana Kalyanak, that is death of Tirthankar or final liberation and moksha. Okay? So every Tirthankar has to undergo through these 5 important processes. As per Jainism, the first Tirthankar was Rishabhnath Ji or Adinath Ji, whose symbol was bull. Okay? The 23rd Tirthankar was Parshavnath Ji, whose symbol was a serpent or a snake. And the 24th Tirthankar was Vardhaman Mahavir Ji, whose symbol was lion. Okay? Now, Vardhaman Mahavir Ji is also referred as Nathputra. Why he is referred as Nathputra? I'll give you a very simple example. Now, there was a Mahajanpad which is referred as Vajji Mahajanpad. In different historical texts, Vajji Mahajanpad is also referred as Ashtakul. Okay? 8 important clans, 8 important families together formed the Vajji Mahajanpad. Okay? I'll give you a very simple example. One such clan was Lichavis, then comes Videha, then comes Natrik. Okay? And Vardhaman Mahavir Ji's father, Siddharth, he was the head of Natrik clan. Hence, Vardhaman Mahavir Ji was referred as Nathaputra. And his symbol was lion. I'll repeat the concepts again. Okay? Like Vardhaman Mahavir Ji, he is a 24th Tirthankar. His symbol is lion. In different historical text, okay, or in the different text of Jainism, Vardhaman Mahavir Ji is referred as what? He is referred as Nathaputra. Why he is referred as Nathaputra? I'll give you an example. There was a Mahajanpad which was referred as Vajji Mahajanpad. Vajji Mahajanpad is also referred as Ashtakul. 8 important families have come together to form a Mahajanpad, that is Vajji Mahajanpad. Okay? Now, few of them are Lichavis, Videha and Natrik. Okay? And the head of Natrik clan was Siddharth, and Siddharth was father of Vardhaman Mahavir. Is that clear? So precisely speaking, he is referred as Vardhaman Mahavir Ji is referred as Nathputra. Is that clear? Now moving ahead. Precisely speaking, Vardhaman Mahavir Ji, his father's name was Siddharth, his mother's name was Trishla. Okay? He had renounced his worldly life at the age of 30 and he had attained the Keval Gyan. That is, he had attained the enlightenment at the age of 42. And he had attained enlightenment precisely at a place called as Jrimbrik-gram. I repeat, Vardhaman Mahavir Ji had attained enlightenment at a place called as Jrimbrik-gram, which is located on the banks of river Rijupalika. Okay. Vardhaman Mahavirji, he passed away, he died at a place called as Pavapuri, which is located in Bihar. Now, what's the major difference between Vardhaman Mahavirji and Buddha? Buddha's original name was Siddharth. Vardhaman Mahavirji's father's name was Siddharth. Okay. Buddha's wife name was Yashodhara. Vardhaman Mahavirji's wife name was Yashoda. Buddha died at a place called as Kushinagar or Pava, which is located in UP. On the other hand, Vardhaman Mahavirji died at a place called as Pavapuri, which is located near Rajgriha in Bihar. Okay, and presently, where the place where Vardhaman Mahavirji passed away, there is a temple, and that temple is referred as Jal Mandir. Is that clear? So these were the important Tirthankar. First Tirthankar was Rishabhnath ji, whose symbol was what we say bull. He is also referred as Adinath. 23rd Tirthankar was whom? 23rd Tirthankar was Parshavnath ji, whose symbol was serpent or a snake. 24th Tirthankar, the last one, was Vardhaman Mahavirji, whose symbol was lion. Is that clear? Yes, please answer in the comment section. Any question, any doubt, any query? Hope so the point is clear to all of you. Okay. Now let's understand the 5 cardinal principles of Jainism. I have talked about these cardinal principles in quite depth and detail. Okay. The first principle is Satya. Always speak the truth. That is the Satya. Second is Ahimsa. Ahimsa basically means non-violence. Okay. And Jainism believes in strict Ahimsa. And non-violence should be observed in thoughts, words and deeds. Correct? Now let me give you a very simple example. Okay. Now suppose you're sitting for your studies, you're preparing for your UPSC 2026 prelims examination. Okay. And you're studying very seriously. And somebody enters your room and say, why are you studying for 2026? Don't you understand there is a lot of competition for UPSC? Why don't you try for the other examination? You have worked hard throughout the day. Okay. And now because of the words of that person, you are getting irritated. And when that person leaves, what happens? You start thinking, once I become an IAS or an IPS, I'll show that person. My friends, why do we ventilate our energy in that direction? Correct? That is nothing but violence in thoughts. Violence in words, speaking in abusive manner to anyone, speaking in slang language to anyone. That is violence in words. And violence, what we say physical violence, these are nothing but violence in deeds. So Jainism believes in strict ahimsa. Okay? Achurya or asteya. Achurya or asteya basically means non-stealing. One should not, what we say, claim anything that does not belongs to him. That is nothing but achurya or asteya. Is that clear? Aparigriha. Aparigriha basically means non-possession. And this is one of the most important aspects for the person who is aspiring to become a monk or a nun. I'll give you a very simple example. Suppose if I have to become a monk or a nun, I have an assets worth 50 crore rupees. Okay. And I do not renounce them. Do you think so? My mind will be calm. Will I be able to meditate properly? Obviously not. Because my thoughts, my mind will continuously cling towards my assets. True? So the most important aspect, aparigriha here means non-possession. Okay. And one more thing, like for the student's life, this also is very important. You have to sacrifice something if you want something. Correct? We have to sacrifice laziness. We have to sacrifice procrastination. Isn't that true? So aparigriha basically means non-possession. And finally comes brahmacharya. This is for monk and nun. Brahmacharya means absolute celibacy. Okay. Now just remember one thing. The first 4 principles, that is satya, ahimsa, asteya or achurya, that is non-stealing, aparigriha, that is non-possession. All these principles were given by 23rd Tirthankar, Parshavnath ji. And only the last principle, brahmacharya, was given by 24th Tirthankar, Vardhaman Mahavir ji. Okay. Now let's understand the difference between 2 important sects of Jainism, that is Shwetambar and Digambar. I have explained everything as a part of PDF or PPT, but please listen to me very carefully. Okay? During the reign of Chandragupta Maurya, there was a huge famine in the region of Patliputra. Okay, and due to this, the Jain monks were divided into two groups. One group was led by Bhadrabahu, and the second group was led by Sthulabhadra. Okay, so during the reign of Chandragupta Maurya, there was a huge famine in the region of Patliputra, and the Jain monks were basically divided into two groups. One group was led by Bhadrabahu, second group was led by Sthulabhadra. The group which was led by Bhadrabahu moved towards southern part of India, precisely Shravanbelagola. Okay, and they came back after 12 years. Many historians do believe that, in fact, Chandragupta Maurya also accompanied Bhadrabahu, and finally Chandragupta Maurya, he stayed in Shravanbelagola itself, and here he had committed Sallekhna, that is fast unto death. Okay, the group of Bhadrabahu, they came back to Patliputra again after 12 years. And when the group of Bhadrabahu came back to Patliputra after 12 years, there were ideological differences between the group of Sthulabhadra and Bhadrabahu. And due to these ideological differences, the Jainism was divided into two parts. That is Shwetambar and Digambar. The followers of Bhadrabahu were referred as Digambar. On the other hand, the followers of Sthulabhadra were referred as Shwetambar. Okay. Digambar. Digambar monks are completely naked. They do not wear any clothes. They believe that Dig means the directions, Disha, and Ambar means the sky. The four directions and the sky are their apparels. Digambar monks are characterized by three important things: Pichi, Kamandal and Shastra. I repeat, Digambar monks are characterized by three important things: Pichi, Kamandal and Shastra. Now Pichi, it's a broom made up of fallen peacock feather. Like as I've told you, Jainism believes in strict ahimsa. Okay, so they carry a broom along with them which is made up of fallen peacock feather, so that if they have to sit at a particular place, what do? They clean up that space. So if there are any tiny insects, okay, what happens? They'll get swept away. Then Kamandal. Kamandal is nothing but a water container made up of wood. And Shastra are scriptures. Okay, now one more thing. As per Digambar, females cannot attain moksha. I repeat, as per Digambar, females cannot attain moksha, and all the 24 Tirthankar are male. Is that clear? Now comes Shwetambar. Shwetambar, they wear white clothes. Is that clear? They wear completely white clothes. You might have observed they also wear a white mask on their face. Okay? Shwetambar are, specifically speaking, Shwetambar are a bit liberal in comparison to Digambar. Okay? Now, Shwetambar believe that rather it be a male or a female, anybody can attain moksha. And the 19th Tirthankar as per Shwetambar was whom? The 19th Tirthankar was a female. And the 19th Tirthankar as per Digambar is a male. So as per Digambar, 19th Tirthankar was Mallinath. And as per Shwetambar, the 19th Tirthankar was Mallibai. And the symbol of Mallinath or Mallibai is Kalash. Okay? Another important aspect. Specifically, Digambars believe that Vardhaman Mahavirji never married at all. So, he was a brahmacharya. And Shwetambar believed that specifically Vardhaman Mahavirji, he got married. Yashoda was his wife. In fact, he had two daughters, Anuja and Priyadarshana. In fact, he had married one of his daughters, Priyadarshana, to one of his favorite disciples, whose name was Jamali. Okay, so that is the broader difference between the Digambar and Shwetambar. I'll repeat the points again within short. Digambar monks are completely naked. Female Digambar, they wear white saris and are referred as Aryikas. Please remember the terminologies. As per Digambar, females cannot attain moksha, and all the 24 Tirthankars are whom? Male. Shwetambar, they completely wear white clothes. Okay, as per them, as per Shwetambar, rather it be a male or a female, anybody can attain moksha. Okay, and as per Shwetambar, the 19th Tirthankar, Mallinath, is referred as Mallibai, and the symbol of Mallibai is Kalash. One more important thing, there is a temple dedicated to 19th Tirthankar, Mallinath or Mallibai, located in Tamil Nadu. And that temple is Malla Gurudi Jain Temple. I repeat, Malla Gurudi Jain Temple. Is the point clear, everyone? Yes, please. Did you understand the basic difference between Shwetambar and Digambar? Okay, so these are the sects of Jainism. I have mentioned that in quite depth and detail. Okay. Very good. Any doubt, any question, any query? Okay, great. Now, before I begin with the Jain literature, let me speak about the important Jain temples. And as we have seen about the important Buddhist caves, we have seen about the important Buddhist monasteries. Similarly, there could be a question in the examination in the form of match the following. On one hand, the temples, on the other hand, the location of these temples. Match the following. Which among the following are correctly matched? Which among the following are incorrectly matched? So you'll observe all these things. Okay. Now, where is this temple located? Palitana Jain Temple. As I have told you in the start of the session itself, please have a pen and paper along with you so that you guys can note down the important points. Okay? Anybody? Where is the Palitana Jain Temple located? In 2025, Palitana was quite in news. Any idea why was it in news? Shashmita, you have to remember the terminologies, because there are many questions sometimes on the terminologies in the examination, precisely from ancient and medieval Indian perspective. Like if you observe the Vedic civilization, there are many terminologies in Vedic civilization, and you have to go through them. Although it is factual in nature, but yes, you have to go through them. You cannot skip them. Okay. Any idea why was Palitana Jain Temple in news last year? Palitana, it is a place which was in news because it has been declared as the first 100% vegetarian city of India. Okay. Now, what is the historical significance of Palitana Jain Temple? I'll give you a very simple example. Palitana Jain Temple, it is located in Gujarat. It is located on Shatrunjaya Hills. Okay. And as per different Jain scholars, out of 24 Tirthankars, 23 Tirthankars have visited the place of Palitana. Or in simple words, they have visited Shatrunjaya Hills, except one Tirthankar, whose name was Neminath, and his symbol was conch shell, that is Shankh. Okay, I'll repeat the points again. Palitana Jain Temple was in news last year because Palitana has been declared as 100% vegetarian city of India. It is located on Shatrunjaya Hills, located in Gujarat. This place has been visited by 23 Tirthankars out of 24 Tirthankars, except one, whose name was Neminath. His symbol is conch shell. Okay. Another important Jain temple, Dilwara Jain Temple. Any idea? A very famous one, guys. It finds mention in the NCRT. It also finds mention in Tamil Nadu State Board book. Where is Dilwara Jain Temple located? Fast. Take a guess. In fact, there is a Vipassana center as well here. If anybody knows about this. Dilwara Jain Temple, it is located in Mount Abu, Rajasthan. Banaut, very good. Very good guess. Okay. So, it is located in Mount Abu, Rajasthan, and it was constructed by Vimal Shah. It is a group of 5 important temples. Is that clear? Then, where is Ranakpur Jain Temple located? Just take a guess. Ranakpur Jain Temple. My friends, Ranakpur Jain Temple is also located in Rajasthan. Okay. The most important one, where is Shravan Belagola located? Any idea? Where is Shravan Belagola located? A very famous one. And there's a beautiful story associated with this. I'll narrate that story within 2 to 3 minutes. Very good, Banot. Sudama, perfect. Rajasthan, perfect. Shri, very good. Karnataka. Banot, perfect. Karnataka. Okay. So, Shravan Belagola, it is located in Karnataka. Just listen to me very carefully. Okay. A very beautiful story. The first Tirthankar was Rishabhnath ji or Adinath ji. His symbol was bull. He had two sons, Bharat and Bahubali. So after a particular age, he renounced everything and moved towards jungle for meditation. And he distributed the entire kingdom between two of his sons, Bharat and Bahubali. One fine day, Bharat, he calls Bahubali and said that whatever kingdom has been given to you, surrender it to me and work as a Senapati or a military commander for me. Bahubali said that you are an elder brother to me. Okay, and I respect you a lot. But if I directly submit the entire kingdom, if I meekly submit the entire kingdom, people will call me coward. A person who cannot protect his kingdom, how can he protect his people? That would be the thinking pattern of the people, if I directly submit you the kingdom. So the war became inevitable between the two brothers. But there was a very intelligent minister. He thought that why the two armies should fight. Because when both the armies will fight, there would be a huge loss of men and material. Okay. So there were specifically the war between the two brothers. In fact, there was a battle between two brothers. So there were different kind of battle. Okay. Such as Jal Yudh, Mal Yudh, Netra Yudh, and so on. And in all these battles, Bahubali emerged victorious. Okay. The word Bahubali basically means one with strong arms. Is that clear? Now, after some time, Bahubali realized one thing. My father has renounced everything. And why are we brothers fighting? Just for the sake of this kingdom? He gave the entire kingdom to his brother Bharat and started moving towards jungle for meditation. And many Jain scholars do believe that Bahubali meditated continuously for 1 year in Kayotsarga position. This is the Kayotsarga position. That is the standing posture, continuously for 1 year. After a year, his brother Bharat realized that he has done the mistake and he goes into the jungle searching for Bahubali. Finally, he finds Bahubali and he apologizes for the mistake that he had committed. Then, Bahubali from here onwards, he moved towards Mount Kailash, and Jain scholars do believe that he attained moksha or salvation at Mount Kailash. The further part of the story says that in the coming years in the region of Karnataka, there was a dynasty which was referred as Gangavasi dynasty. Okay. And one of the military commanders of Gangavasi dynasty was Chamunda Rai. Okay. In the dream of Chamunda Rai's mother. Okay. Perfect answer, Banot. In the dream of Chamunda Rai's mother, there was a statue of Bahubali that came. So the very next morning, she spoke about this dream to her son. And she said that go at that particular place, you will observe two important hills. Stand on one hill and shoot an arrow on the opposite side of the hill. You will observe the statue of Bahubali. Chamunda Rai, he does the same. He goes and he stands on one particular part of the hill and he shoots an arrow in the opposite direction. There he sees the shadow of Bahubali. He decides to make a temple dedicated to Bahubali. And the entire mountain was cut. The statue of Bahubali, it is said that it is a monolith. It is approximately 59 to 60 feet statue. Okay. Now, precisely, the puja needs to be performed of that statue. Okay. Now, there was a abhishekam that needs to be done. And that is referred as Mahamastak Abhishekam. As a part of Abhishekam, the water or any kind of a liquid that is poured on the head of Bahubali should flow from the head till toe. But at that time, the water did not flow from the head till toe. So, in the region of Karnataka, there is a local deity who is worshipped, who is referred as Kushmandana Devi. Okay? And basically speaking, it is said that there was a small girl who took the, incarnation of Kushmandana Devi ji. and just in a small earthen pot she poured water on the head of Bahubali. The water, it moved from the head till toe, and there was a small pond in front of the toe. That is referred as Belagola, and hence that place is referred as Shravan Belagola. At a place called Shravan Belagola, there is Gomteshwar Bahubali statue. It is a monolith that is carved out of a single rock. Okay, and it is approximately 59 to 60 feet statue, approximately. Is that clear? And the most important one, every 12 years there is a Jain congregation and there is Mahamastak Abhishekam at a place called as Shravan Belagola. Is that clear, everyone? So Shravan Belagola, it is located in Karnataka. Also the story was interesting. Okay, moving ahead, as we have discussed previously, Malla Gurudi Jain temple. Malla Gurudi Jain temple, it is located in Tamil Nadu and it is dedicated to Mallinath, also referred as Mallibai in Shwetambar, as per Shwetambar, okay? And this Malla Gurudi Jain temple, it is dedicated to the 19th Tirthankar whose symbol is Kalash, that is earthen pot, okay? Now coming to the Jain literature. Now Jain literature can be divided into different parts. Now first is 12 Angas. After 12 Angas come 12 Upangas, 10 Prakrinas, 6 Chhed Sutras, 4 Mool Sutras and 2 Kulika Sutras. Now what are 12 Angas? Angas are nothing but discourses of different Tirthankar. Then comes 12 Upangas. These are the explanation or commentaries to the 12 Angas. 10 Prakrinas. These are the books on the various principles, philosophy, doctrinal matters associated with Jainism. Let me give you a very simple example. Like the 5 important cardinal principles of Jainism are Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya or Achurya, Aparigriha and Brahmacharya. All these 5 principles are mentioned in 10 Prakrinas. Then there are 9 Tattvas of Jainism. Jeev, Ajeev, Punya, Pap. Then Asrav, Samvar, Nirjara and Moksha. All of them have been mentioned in 10 Prakrinas. Very simple words. This is a book on what? Philosophical explanations. 6 Chhed Sutras. These are disciplinary rules for monks and nuns. We have seen what is Vinay Pitak. Specifically in Buddhism, as a part of Tripitaka, there is a text called as Vinay Pitak. So Vinay Pitak is nothing but a book on rules and regulation for monks and nuns. And in Vinay Pitak, 227 rules are mentioned for monks and 311 rules are mentioned for nuns. Similarly, in the Chhed Sutras, it is a book on specifically what? Disciplinary rules for monks and nuns. Anybody who aspires to become a monk or a nun, what process does he need to follow? That is mentioned in 4 Mool Sutras. And then comes 2 Kulika Sutras. This is the summary of the entire Jain literature. So just remember the numbers. 12 Angas, these are the discourses of Tirthankar. 12 Upangas, these are explanation of Angas. 10 Prakrinas. Prakrinas are nothing but various doctrinal matters associated with Jainism. 6 Chhed Sutras, disciplinary rules for monks and nuns. 4 Mool Sutras. Okay, like if a person aspires to become a monk or a nun, what rules and regulations does he need to follow? Then comes 2 Kulika Sutras, summary of the entire Jain philosophy. Clear? Apart from this, prior to 12 Angas, there were 14 Purvas. Just remember this. Then, there is a book called as Mahapuran. Mahapuran, it is divided into 2 parts, Adi Puran and Uttar Puran. Adi Puran was composed by Jain and Uttar Puran was composed by Gunabhadra. There is another important Jain text referred as Ratna Malika, which was written by Amogh Varsh. So these are the important texts associated with Jainism. Hope you have understood the important Jain temples, you have understood the important Jain literature. Please answer in the comment section. Yes, Bilkul. Perfect answer, Vipul. In Bihar also, there is a temple dedicated to Vardhaman Mahavir. I'll give you a very simple example. Previously itself I have spoken. The place where Vardhaman Mahavir ji passed away, it is a place called as Pavapuri. And at Pavapuri itself, there is a temple being constructed which is referred as Pavapuri Jal Mandir. Is that clear? Okay. Jain Council. Now, before I speak about, okay, I'll speak about Jain Council as well. The first Jain Council, it was held at Patliputra. It was patronized by Sthulbhadra. And what happened in the first Jain Council? As a part of first Jain Council, 14 Purvas were replaced by 12 Angas. Second Jain Council, it was held at two places. Okay, it was held at Mathura and Vallabhi in Gujarat. The one held at Mathura was being patronized by whom? Skandela. Okay, and the one held at Gujarat, it was being patronized by Devardagani. So in the second Buddhist council, you can see the compilation of Angas and Upa-Angas. Is that clear? Now let me tell you about one more core principle of Jainism, and that principle precisely is nothing but no Tattvas of Jainism. There could be a probable question on which among the following are 9 Tattvas of Jainism. Okay. Now just listen to me carefully. Jeev, Ajeev, Punya, Paap, Bandh, Asrav, Samvar. Please note this down along with me. There could be a direct question in the UPSC prelims examination. Which among the following are the 9 Tattvas of Jainism, or 9 important Tattvas of Jainism? Okay. Jeev, Ajeev, Punya, Paap, Bandh, Asrav, Samvar, Nirjara, Moksha. Okay, I'll explain them. See, suppose, just imagine, suppose you are on island A and you have to go on island B. You have a boat, okay, and you have observed one thing, that in the boat there is a small hole, okay. Now, initially you ignore that. You start your journey and start moving towards island B. Now, as soon as you reach the midway, you realize that water has entered into the boat. And if you do not remove that water, the entire boat will capsize. And probably even you can drown. Okay? Now, let's correlate this philosophy to the 9 Tattvas. What is Jeev? Jeev means soul. Correct. Now, precisely speaking, what is Jeev? Soul, any person, like specifically speaking, the difference between soul and non-soul, that is Jeev and Ajeev, it is characterized by consciousness. Correct. Like even an animal is a Jeev. We people, human beings, are also a Jeev. But what differentiates us? Consciousness differentiates us. Okay. Then comes Ajeev. Ajeev means non-living beings or non-soul. But there is a continuous interaction between the Jeev and Ajeev. Okay. Then comes Punya. Punya basically means performance of good karmas. Paap means performance of bad karmas. And due to the performance of these karma, the soul is bonded within the continuous cycle of birth and death, birth and death. Okay. Like specifically speaking, you might have heard about this important symbol swastik. Swastik symbol, it is quite significant from the perspective of Buddhism, Jainism and Hinduism. Now there are 4 dots in the swastik. What does these 4 dots in the swastik exemplify? They simply exemplify one thing, the status of our soul depending upon the stock of our karmas. Okay. If a person has performed good karmas throughout his life, his soul would be in heaven or he would be reborn as a human being. If a person has performed bad karmas throughout his life, his soul would be in hell or he would be reborn as a lower being. I'll give you a very simple example so that I can explain you the things. Okay. So now due to performance of these kind of karmas, what happens? The soul is bonded. So that is referred as bandh. Now there is something called as asrav. Asrav means influx of the karmas. Now we have understood one thing. As I have told you one thing, specifically what is asrav here? Influx of karmas. So asrav here is nothing but a hole in the boat. Now we have realized that there is a hole in the boat, and until and unless I fix that hole, there is a probability that my boat will capsize and I'll drown in the river. Correct? So very simple words, what is realization referred as? Realization is referred as samvar. Okay, so what will I do? I'll take my boat to a small island. Okay, I'll fix that hole. First of all, I'll remove the water. I'll fix that hole. Okay, after fixing that hole, again I'll start my journey from this small island towards the island B. So fixing that hole is referred as what? Nirjara. Okay, so what is samvar? Samvar is nothing but realization that I need to fix this hole. What is nirjara? I fixed that hole. Okay, so nirjara here means penance, and finally this is nothing but moksha, liberation. So these are referred as the 9 tattvas of Jainism. Jeev, ajeev, punya, pap, bandh, asraf, samvar, nirjara, moksha. Okay, I have explained this entire thing in quite depth and detail as a part of Jainism. Okay, you can go through the ancient Indian history series. You can just check out the playlist. There I have covered ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history and modern Indian history in quite depth and detail. So as a part of ancient Indian history, I have explained all the topics of Jainism in quite depth and detail. In fact, I have explained the topic of 9 tattvas just for 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, for now, from the perspective of prelims examination, just remember the name of these 9 tattvas. So jeev means soul, ajeev means non-soul, punya means influx of good karmas, pap means influx of bad karmas, asrav means influx of karma, bandh means bondage of soul, samvar means self-realization. Then comes nirjara, penance, moksha means final liberation or salvation. Is that clear? Hope so the point is clear. Please answer in the comment section. Please do not worry, Vipul. Approximately 8 to 10 sessions are there on 50 important topics associated with Indian history. And once these topics are completed, do not worry. Okay, I'll be again regaining back the pace of the MCQs. Is that clear? We'll be covering the MCQs at that time. My friends, StudyIQ IS has come up with Pragati 2026 All India UPSC Prelims free mock test. Okay, it's a free mock test. You just need to register yourself. And the mock test is on 5th of April. The mock test, precisely speaking, the mock test is on 5th of April 2026. The most important aspect, same like the UPSC pattern. Your GS paper 1 would be at 9:30 AM. Your GS paper 2, that is CSAT, would be at 2:30 PM. Is that clear? Now, it is both online and offline. And the examination will be conducted in the offline centers at Karol Bagh in Delhi, then Prayagraj and Lucknow in UP, Patna in Bihar, and in Indore, precisely in Madhya Pradesh. These are the offline centers for the test. Okay? And you can go for the online registrations of the test as well. The test would be on 5th of April 2026. So please do not miss the opportunity. I repeat, do not miss this opportunity. Okay? Why? Because you will get an all India rank so that you can gauge the competence. Then, test is based on the latest UPSC exam pattern. Apart from this, detailed test analysis by the experts. Like for example, if there are questions on history, after the examination, there would be a detailed analysis about the questions related to history. Similarly with geography and environment, similarly with the economy and so on. Then examination will be available in both the languages English and Hindi. Is that clear? So do register yourself. The test would be on 5th of April 2026. The timing would be 9:30 AM GS paper 1 and 2:30 PM that is GS paper 2. That is the paper of CSAT. Okay. Vipul ji, StudyIQ right now is it's not in Bangalore. These are the 6 offline centers that I have mentioned here. Okay. So please do register for the test 5th of April. So see you guys on Monday with the next topic. Till then, thank you and have a very nice day. Bye-bye everyone. Jai Hind.